Hey, I have super exciting news. It's harder in 2025 than it's ever been for someone to buy a home. And one of the reasons is the banks have gotten super difficult to deal with. If you have less than perfect credit, maybe you've had a foreclosure or repossession, maybe you've started a job and the bank tells you need 5 years of tax returns, we can help. Integrity First Homebuyers offers rent to own seller financing, even if you have less than perfect credit. Great question. Seller financing is literally the same as going to your bank or a mortgage company and getting a loan. However, with the Integrity First Seller Financing Program, what we offer is a common sense decision. Listen, a lot of banks are going to ask for pay stubs, tax returns. For example, we've helped dozens of self-employed contractors, folks that are entrepreneurs and business owners, and they make $100,000 a year. However, their tax returns may reflect that they have a lower taxable amount. So what we look at for folks that have self-employed businesses is we'll look at, your deposits. Are you bringing in enough money to support your payment? And if the case is yes, then we're willing to make an investment and open up a loan for you in exchange for a reasonable down payment. So seller financing is where the seller of the property, the owner of the property, me, is willing to give you a loan even when a bank or a mortgage company has denied you for one of several reasons. So why would someone like me, a seller, decide to do seller financing if you've been turned down by a mortgage company? One of the reasons is I generally buy properties and renovate them, and I do it at a discount. So I'm normally able to buy real estate and renovate it and have some equity in the deal. So if I sell you a house, I probably have equity in it. Now, if you put a little bit of money down, plus the equity that I had, it's a lower risk for me because I'm a real estate investor, right? So we know how to buy and sell real estate. The normal bank or mortgage company is not in the business of owning real estate. I've owned over 4,000 properties in my life. So we understand that things happen. Occasionally someone that I financed may get behind on payments. We're skilled at being able to work with you on that. Occasionally we have people that walk away and they give the house back. What do? I fix it back up and I re-rent it or resell it. So the reason a seller will typically offer a loan when a bank won't is we do require a reasonable down payment. For our seller financing programs, you're typically going to need a reasonable down payment, where the bank a lot of times won't require a down payment, so they have more risk. And we're also just much more willing to participate in a high-risk loan like seller finance when you have bad credit than a bank somewhere across the coast is. We only invest and only lend or do seller financing in properties right here in our hometown. So the beauty of a seller finance deal is literally the seller can make the decision about the interest rate. We do take into consideration local interest rates, bank interest rates, the average mortgage rates, the prime rate, the Federal Reserve, all of that factors in, but ultimately us as the seller can make the decision about your interest rate. And it's not all about your credit. We'll factor in your job time. We'll factor in your down payment. We'll factor in your income. So we have the ability to work with you on interest rate to try and make the down payment and monthly payment work. Yeah, seller financing can be used for any type of property. Now, generally, if you're doing seller financing on an investment property, that's considered like a hard money loan or an investment loan. Our seller financing can be applied to an investment property, and those terms and down payments vary from a residential. I prefer to do seller financing for someone that's going to live in the property. The reason is there's an attachment to the property. One thing people are going to do, at least I know, is, when I was growing up, if money got tight, my mom and dad made sure that we made the house payment first. So as an investor, when I'm gauging my risk, I like the fact that I can lend money to families that can buy a property and experience the American dream of owning a home and building wealth and equity in that property when banks and mortgage companies have told them no. I am very passionate about creating a pathway to wealth and home ownership when other people have told you no. I love saying yes when other people have told you no. So a lot of people ask, what are the legal or tax implications you need to be aware of before you would do seller financing? Number one, we record all of our agreements. So you have a protected interest in the property, typically by way of what's called an installment sales agreement. Secondly, if you want some legal expertise or oversight, bring your attorney. You can have them overlook the documents, and you can get any legal advice or review of our documents that you like. As far as taxes, you'll get the same benefits of the tax savings that you get as if you were to finance with a local bank. So you get the tax savings that you would get the same as if you were to finance through a conventional mortgage company. Generally speaking, on a normal home purchase through a mortgage company, closing costs are around 6%. In most cases, our seller financing closing cost is closer to 3 or 4%. So the closing costs are a little bit lower, sometimes similar, depending on the price of the property. Generally speaking, on a seller finance, we can close in as little as 3 to 4 weeks, and we would do a 20 to 30 year mortgage. So seller finance for us generally looks very similar to the terms that you would find on a normal mortgage. You can get anywhere from a 10-year to a 30-year mortgage, same as you would through a conventional bank. We're able to close in a shorter time frame than a normal mortgage would take, because we're able to make decisions much quicker. Where a normal mortgage may take you 45 to 60 days, we can sometimes close in as little as 2 weeks. So if you've been turned down by local banks or mortgage companies, or maybe you just believe that your credit or income wouldn't qualify, go ahead and reach out. We can have a no hassle, no obligation consultation where we can talk about the properties that we have available, whether or not you may qualify, and you can learn more about our seller finance program. So click the link or contact us. You can send a DM or comment under this video, and one of our agents will call you back and we can walk you through the process to see if you qualify for seller finance.